welcome back to Erie's Witchcraft and another Witchy Wisdom Wednesdays. Yeah! This week we are talking about dedication. And there are 7 other ladies doing this collaboration as well. Make sure you check out their links in the description so you can get a bit more information or different perspectives about dedication. All right, now there are many forms of dedication, not only in witchcraft, but in life. But I think I'm going to focus more on the traditional dedication rites and rituals for people in their path and stuff. And, if you don't have deities or you don't really want to do that, that is completely cool. Your path is your own. However, I do think that this does benefit each practicing witch on their own path. So, there are many ways to dedicate yourself to a certain craft, practice, or deity, or even in everyday life. But here, I'm going to give you a few examples of a few of the rituals or rites, or kind of talk about the basics of it, if you will, really. And the reason I'm only giving you kind of the basics is to give you a little starting foundation. I think this is very personal from person to person, and yeah, so definitely make it your own. Add things, take things out, whatever you feel like. So first, what really is a dedication ritual? Usually it's a celebration ceremony of dedicating yourself to a coven or a group of witches or witch traditions. But I'm talking about this more in a solitary way today. It is very big, a very big ceremonial practice, especially in like the Wiccan traditions when they're kind of initiating people into their covens or whatever. But this is kind of like a self-dedication in your own right, in your own path, your own practice. So you can definitely do this solitary. Okay, it's called self-dedication. You are intently dedicating yourself to your path and deities you've chosen to work with. You can dedicate to other things as well, like tarot. You can dedicate yourself to a certain path work with certain spirits, or other forms of paganism or witchcraft. I mean, it's all about dedicating yourself, giving you that self-empowerment, motivating yourself on your path. So why dedicate if you already feel like you're dedicated on your path? Well, simply put, it feels great. It just feels good, okay? And it sends like the powerful intent and promise to yourself and your deity or the spiritual world, sort of like an oath, if you will. So it can also be really rewarding, just the overall feeling, but let me give you kind of an example of the point I'm trying to get across here. Just as it does with other rituals like marriage, for example, you're already dedicated to the person you love, but not many do it over the piece of paper. A lot of people do it because they want the power of that union or that unity and the promise, that dedication. It's a way of expressing it. So it's kind of sort of the same thing, So the best time to do a dedication rite or a ritual is during the new moon, because you're bringing in new beginnings. The goal is to bring you closer to the divine and declare your heart, mind, and spirit to your path or spiritual journey. And if you're not working with a deity, it is perfectly okay to self-dedicate yourself to your path, or like I said, whatever you are really skilled or passionate about in your path. For easy self-dedication ritual, get an oil of anointment or blessings or, anything of that nature. I'm leaving this very open because, like I said, it's personal and I think you should decide. However, salt in a white candle as well. You can also write a petition of a declaration to a deity or to yourself, or to the spirits of your path, ancestors, whatever. But if you do this, try to include your altar, because your altar is dedicated to a purpose, correct? So what better thing to include in your ritual of self-dedication than your altar as well? Include a deity. You can invoke or evoke a deity, just so they can kind of stand witness to your dedication toward them and your path. Or if you don't work with one at all, like I said, that's completely fine. So the body areas that are usually kind of anointed in these rites or rituals, I'll give you the basics, but you can or you don't have to include this. However, it is just kind of a symbolic thing in these rites that are commonly used. So the forehead, and then the eyes, careful, you know, your eyelids. Then of course your lips, your heart, the top of your hands, the private area, and the top of your feet. Some people do the knees as well. I mean, optional. Then you want to pledge your dedication to the deity of your choice if you are working with a deity. So you're going to kind of anoint yourself, get your settings up, get everything done, and that's typically the steps taken is after blessing yourself into your dedication or in your ritual, then you pledge to the deity of your choice or spirit or path or tradition or whatever it is, that is your time to dedicate it after the anointment. And if you write it down, burn it afterwards, becomes spirit, it dissolves into spirit, becomes energy. And the salt is for purity, protection, whatever you want to use it for. You can put it in your circle or you can stand on the salt. And a ritual bath probably should be performed before a self-dedication ritual, because as much fun as we can have with it, it is something very important to your practice. Yeah, so you can take these basics and change and adapt them to however you want, and make it yours. I hope this helps a bit, somebody out there. And I definitely recommend looking into it. I remember the first self-dedication ritual I did was for Nyx at the very beginning of my practice, like the first one I ever did, and then Hecate. So yes, it is exciting, it is a fun thing, and it is a very empowering thing. Well, much love to you guys. Hit subscribe, hit like, and I will see you next time.